All right, Kate. Time to get those VFDs or whatever. We can get those explosive barrels out of the way. There we go. So I thought I would start this video off with a bang, but unfortunately this game had other ideas. So I thought I'd sneak up on this guy and ambush him. But unfortunately, when you have a camera at this low angle, it kind of screws with your depth perception, so I couldn't quite set him on fire the way I had planned.
Yeah, that didn't quite work out.
Although I did get a decent consolation prize. I electrocuted him instead.
I like it.
All right, go back to XBLA. I had some fun with this guy because we've mentioned before that you can sweep enemies off their feet with the LP4, and if you get it at the right angle, you can have some pretty fun shenanigans with their ragdolls. 10 out of 10. I mean, he would have gone to the Olympics if he hadn't just killed him, Kate. Kind of heartless of you.
I gotta say, the water effects are still impressing.
Not quite as impressive as the split physics, though. So we have a fire puzzle for a change, and here's something we haven't seen for a while: an actual object. Huh? Herbal medicine for anxiety. Maybe we should get. Maybe we should give that to Billingham.
Another game where you pick up herbs. I'm seeing a pattern here.
The pressure in the gas lines must have caused a chain reaction.
This is also the second sort of anxiety medication we picked up in the game after the sleepy pills in video 1.
This game is trying to tell us something.
Okay, I'm looking.
Alright, so here's a pretty simple side scan puzzle.
I know, I'm a genius. Now you need to find the next valve to cut off the gas.
Citation needed on that one, Scoot. This puzzle is a little more complicated in the XBLA version, because I can't remember exactly where the cipher is, but it's in a pretty more complicated place than just that one guy's body. Also, even when you have the waypoints turned on XBLA, it never gives you the exact location for the ciphers. It's only in Prophecy.
That's a little unfair, but not terrible, I guess?
Mind you, I do wish they at least had the option to turn off the cipher waypoints in Prophecy, to give it at least a little bit of a challenge.
Fair.
So I guess I should at least take this opportunity to address something I haven't brought up yet, which is the title of the game. Hydrophobia is not actually the fear of water. That is aquaphobia.
The game lies to us?
Well, no, the game is just misinformed. Hydrophobia is not actually a medically diagnosable phobia.
Christ, they must have been planning this thing for a while.
Or at least it's not a neurological phobia. It is a... Well, there's two definitions for it. One is a scientific term that is used for very specific surfaces that are completely water repellent. So you'll see tests that will involve hydrophobic and hydrophilic surfaces that are used in physics tests. The other one is a very old and archaic term for the late stages of human contact with rabies. It's no laughing matter. When in the late stages of human rabies, the body, it desperately craves water, but the brain will reject it whenever it comes near, thus creating a temporary neurological phobia, or thus a hydrophobia. It's less a fear of water as it is a fear of hydration.
Interesting. I wonder if they tied the rabies thing in for the Xbox Live release.
Oh no, what a precious building!
You're giving Dark Energy Digital way too much credit, I'm afraid.
I know, one can dream.
Alright, where this is basically the same puzzle in both XBLA and Prophecy, except it's a little less cumbersome to do in Prophecy.
Right. Found the override valve.
Get your skates on!
That's another line that's only in XBLA. They just took out all the charm in Prophecy.
Swim for it!
So, you may also notice there's a lot of objects floating around there. That's one other pretty cool thing about Hydro Engine, which was the main water physics engine that's used in this game. It was able to interface directly with Havoc. So any object that uses the Havoc physics engine is able to interact directly with Hydro Engine itself, and thus any object can flow on top of or through water realistically.
That's actually really cool. Like, it's neat tech. It's a shame that it has to be attached to this game.
Yeah, I'm sure that someone in the thread who knows more about game development than I do would be able to tell me what the industry standard dynamic liquid physics engine is used nowadays, but I wouldn't be surprised if they, cribbed a couple of notes from the Hydro Engine.
Okay, Miss Wilson, on your toes. We've got 3 sneaky rodents ahead guarding the VFD facility.
Great.
It looks like they're occupied with something. Listen, take it slowly.
They're watching cat videos on their phones.
Just don't draw attention to yourself.
The frowny face was somehow appropriate.
That's another perk of being in an Oxford sorority. You're completely unaffected by convection. So, if my memory is correct, I think we're about to get introduced to a new ammo type.
Ooh.
Yes, there it is. The gel rounds. These are sort of like remote bombs. And these are actually found in the same place in both XBLA and in Prophecy. Now keep in mind, we still haven't found the semi-auto rounds yet on XBLA. So this is actually our first unique ammo type.
So in the original version, our gun is everything but a gun.
Yeah. Well, we'll find semi-auto a little later, but for now we only have the gel rounds. And also, ammo is a lot more restricted on XBLA. Like you'll get to see. I think it's even more so than in Prophecy. Like I think it's only like 20 or 30 shots that you can carry for the semi-auto once we get it. Ooh. Oh, there's another document.
Take him out quietly. Use your gel round.
So the game wants you to sneak here. I have yet to find any way to actually sneak with the gel rounds in either version of this game. I don't think it can be done. And if it can, please, someone tell me. One of the updates that was given to the pure version of this game was the ability to manually detonate the gel rounds. In the original version, you just have to wait for the timer to run out.
They're just little remote bombs.
Yeah, eventually a further update was added so that you can detonate them individually. So now you can just detonate them by just pressing the G key. So here's a better take. You can use them by just mashing the G key and take them out simultaneously, so that they don't have the upper hand on you there. And even if it says that it's out of range, it's not like the bullet disappears or anything. That's where it starts to drop off.
Well, not exactly subtle, but it works.
But like you, eh, Scoot?
Well, I'll take that as a compliment.
Please don't.
Oh, so they have bullet physics in it as well.
Yeah.
Laser mines? What are they up to?
Trying to protect the VFDs by the looks of it. I guess that little stunt with the cycloconverter's got their attention.
So this whole thing with the laser mines, it's a very small subplot that will basically just extend the length of this video and never show up again.
Let's do this quickly and get you out of there.
Which is what I said while recording this video.
Dark energy is good at padding stuff. We're in.
I think we've got their attention.
Really, I never would have guessed. Yeah, this room isn't the best for firefights, especially because this game isn't really designed for like for battles where you're outflanked, except for when we're underwater. We're gonna see some underwater combat later on in this video, and it's really good. But when it comes to when it comes to dry land fights, it really just works for corridor shooting. It really doesn't work well for these wider open arenas.
Yeah, I can see the situation is a little more dire than it really should be.
Yeah, especially since I wanted to save on semi-automatic ammo, and I was just trying to take them down with the sonic rounds. Uh-oh, I smell a set piece.
Somebody forgot to jiggle the handle.
Better find a way to pull the plug on this situation, Kate. Check the bodies. The frequency key.
Scoot, you're on notice. Oh, there's one more enemy left.
Oh, there he is.
You know what that means? Underwater combat! This really is the game at its best, is when you're fighting enemies underwater, especially with the semi-auto and one other ammo type that we'll be seeing later. But just being able to like flank really fast anywhere in any direction, and the fact that the enemies can do the same, you can surface, and enemy accuracy will decrease. You'll be able to regenerate your health slightly. It's really great combat flow, so to speak.
It looks like Max Payne in a therapy pool. Which is awesome.
Yeah, it's really fun. Like, even in the original, underwater combat is really fun.
The door's jammed.
That is literally just wide enough for you to shimmy through, lady.
Cycle the feats. Find the door.
But no, we have to have a side scan puzzle.
Bingo. I tell you, Kate, all this excitement is quite draining.
Boo! Get off the stage! You're not funny!
Scoot.
Get back to Scottish, Scoot. Well, much like Scott's humor, the water level is going downhill.
We're flushing the jokes, folks.
Okay, the remaining VFDs are in the room opposite.
Okay, so something weird happened. This Malthusian spawned, I think, without his AI, or at least without the perception in his AI. No, what went on there? I've never had that happen before or since. But I'm glad I got that on camera. So yeah, that's also a way that you can make Malthusians drown if you keep their head underwater for long enough. I got the Vandal medal for destroying 50 objects. This area also broke because in the Prophecy version, because this Malthusian is supposed to be patrolling further up, and I had to sort of aggro him by shooting the LP4. So in both versions of this map, the AI broke in completely different ways. Hydrophobia in a nutshell.
He was setting a mine, just like the others.
To protect the VFDs, like I told you.
We're getting to the point where they have an inkling of an idea here.
Maybe they're trying to contain the survivors, stop them escaping.
Yeah. Or maybe they don't want.
But little do they know there's a minesweeper on board. He's got 99 on expert.
When is a door not a door?
When it's ajar?
No, when it won't open without a cipher.
Boo!
Okay, like, 5 out of 10 for creativity, but that didn't even make any sense. Like, it's still a door even when it's encrypted by a cipher. It doesn't change what it is.
Scoot is gonna get smacked and or fired by the end of this video.
Even Scottish Scoot is getting in on it. We can't trust either of them.
He's secretly a Malthusian.
Yes, only Malthusians are well known for their terrible senses of humor. So this is actually a lot more awkward than it looks. You really have to line up that jump over to the vent perfectly.
Jesus, Kate, you were right. The loading bays are crawling with Malthusians.
Literally crawling. They haven't learned to walk yet.
When you take out the remaining VFDs, it'll draw the bastards out of there.
You catch on pretty fast, Scoot.
No, he doesn't.
Alright, so I think this puzzle is exclusive to the Prophecy version. Like, this map is definitely on XBLA, but I think they added these electric wires into Prophecy. I can't remember though. It's been a long time since I've played XBLA.
Right, I'm in.
We just made that joke. Come on, Kate.
I gotta hand it to him. The environmental puzzles are pretty good.
Yeah, and they get better in later, especially in Act 3. Some of them get pretty creative. Mostly in Prophecy.
Piece of cake. This hero business is easier than it looks.
Yeah, just one problem. How do I get back out?
I don't know, maybe shoot the glowy thing? That's how it seems to work in video games.
Yeah, flood the ship some more, why don't you? Oh, that's a great idea. Easy to fix.
We're literally just doing what you asked us to do, Scoot. Come on.
I mean, you can't break it anymore. Come on.
At this rate, you're gonna have to work really hard in the next episode to get back in our good books. So we're in the VFD room. VFDs are real things. They're variable frequency devices, variable frequency drives. They are used to limit CO2 emissions on ships. I'm sure that someone can give a more informed opinion in the thread, but that's the basics.
So it's not all bullshit sci-fi. There's some real stuff.
We'll be getting to the bullshit science stuff in video 5, I think.
Look, at least we slowed the ship down. There's nothing more we can do. It's time to get back to Plan A and get off this deck.
Sounds like a reasonable plan, I guess.
I mean, I can't argue.
But my waypoint is telling me to backtrack, so I guess we should go there instead. Alright, let's grab this cipher over here.
Come in. This is Officer Jacobs. Loading bay security. We've been betrayed by one of our own. He's got the slip on us. Drunk us. Shit. We're being held in the loading bay. They've just dragged Simpson away. Mutilated. Oh, God. You can hear this. We need your help. Please. Repeat, we're in the loading bay. We need help. Please hurry.
You just forget to subtitle that?
Yeah. So I mentioned before, this jump can be quite difficult to do. I just gave up. What better way to end the video, right? All right, so
Okay, Tomb Raider it isn't.
all right, next time, video 5. We're gonna end Act 2. This game is really short. We're gonna end Act 2, and and some of the more sciencey bullshit stuff is going to come back, and oh boy, it's gonna be a doozy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Trek no babble.